Beardos, weirdos, balls, girls, how are you all doing? Today I'm looking at two ghost girls, 9.25k subscribers. Well, I've had a few people ask me about this, so they've gone to 30 East Drive. So why wouldn't I look at 30 East Drive? I've watched the intro and the walk around and stuff, and there's a few things that are like neither here nor there. For example, this. They're not in night vision. You can tell by the eyes. They've just put a green filter over them being fully lit. Just leave it fully lit. Do you know? This is why the last one at 30 East Drive, we did a lot with the lights on, because there's nothing to say that ghosts can only interact in the dark. I mean, most people will say that when they saw something, it was in the daytime. It gives you guys the wrong impression if you're a real channel to do something as silly as putting a green filter over your video, or even pulling a colour grading bar to make it look like you're in night vision when you're not. I don't understand that. Obviously, they've got cat balls. The cat ball goes off intermittently. There's a few bangs and knocks which happen at 30 East Drive. I can't really debunk any of it. But this section I can debunk, and I can debunk because I've been there, and this is a very natural occurrence that connecting to afterlife. The first time I went to 30 East Drive, which is probably pushing 3 years ago now. Wow. We went upstairs and this door pops open, and they were like, ignore that, watch. They closed it, they step on a certain floorboard and it pops open. In the times that I've gone to 30 East Drive since, that door, you don't even need to step on the floorboard anymore. The door just pops open, and it pops open quite a lot. My issue is the two ghost girls clearly watch paranormal content because they use other people's footage in their introduction and stuff. It's, you know, done the right way. But, so he goes to check the door because they've heard a bang. Door's still closed. They do an Estes session, nothing happens.
Hey.
But then the first terrifying thing happened. A door that constantly opens at 30 East Drive is not really a terrifying thing that happened. I'm not going to say you know that that door opens. Maybe you haven't watched footage where it's been debunked, but there's a lot of people have debunked this.
So did you hear?
Did that actually not happen? Yeah.
Did you not? That just freaked me out. That's why I like stood back. Like, so you.
And this is as far as I've watched, so I want to see if they close the door and then just see if it'll pop back open, because if you're going on a paranormal investigation and you title your video Real Paranormal Activity Caught on Camera, you've got to make sure that it's not something normal.
You were walking in there and you tested the REM pod, and then that just went and opened.
That actually did happen. I actually didn't get that on camera.
You? Like, I'm not, that just open, right?
Was the light on? But did we leave the light on?
Oh, why weren't you filming?
Oh, I know.
It's
always the fucking way, isn't it?
Yeah, like, what?
Thank you for doing that.
It actually is the way to East Drive. A lot of people will say when the cameras are off is when stuff happens. We went there for 3 days, 2 nights this year. I'm not even putting a video out because literally nothing happened. Nothing at all. The only hint we had was I took the piss out of the ghost as I was packing up. I believe Real Evidence have got that footage, and it was like something knocked on the wall 3 times, like, shut it, fat boy, but it could have been next door.
Thank you, Emma.
Yeah, she said that was Emma, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, Emma.
But I was saying earlier, wasn't I, like...
That you made sure it was properly shut.
That, that. Oh, so that, to see how hard that was for me to push that open.
Yeah, but over time, that door just dislodges itself. I mean, every time I've gone there, that door opens numerous times.
It's sweaty.
So it was like that, and then it literally, but it only went to like there.
Yeah. Okay, close it again.
Close it, leave it closed, and then move about on the floorboards in the next room. See if it pops open again, because it does.
It was so weird. It just happened so quick because you guys were walking in there, and then I like had to like jump back. You were like, whoa. Yeah. That was weird. Okay, cool.
Well, thank you for doing that. Oh, so that's made my heart race.
But I bet they did that on purpose.
Yeah, probably because we had no cameras on.
Yeah, and they were saying they don't like to be contacted.
Yeah.
Or like,
we're doing it when they're catching us off guard.
Well then, although hopefully maybe if they started doing the Estes method, might have like
conjured up something. Yeah. Well, thanks Emma for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Even if we only got our after reactions, it happened. Trust us, please.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm not doubting that door didn't open on its own. I'm just saying that door opens on its own constantly, and it's because the door is warped.
Obviously, it happened.
And Tom wouldn't lie.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie about any of that stuff. No, it's real.
Exactly.
So they use a REM pod SDS method. I'm skipping that because it's not something I subscribe to or believe.
Drive, a hotspot for paranormal activity that captivates investigators and visitors. One of the most striking phenomena is the door to Emma's room, which is reported to open on its own, often without any apparent cause.
It's just a door that opens, I'm afraid.
Paranormal investigators have captured compelling evidence using infrared cameras. These recordings have revealed strange movements and abnormalities within the room, suggesting that Emma's spirit may still linger here. Some claim to have seen...
See, I don't get this Emma or Emily. Emily, I was told the little girl's name is, but that's not the name of the little girl from the story. That was Diane. There's nothing to link any Emma to this house. But now there's this story that there's a portal in the boiler, and now any and all ghosts can come in and out whenever they want, all willy-nilly. And now this Emma or Emily has just appeared there with no tangible reason as to why she could be as tangible as you can get, I guess, with the paranormal. But it just seems like a story that's come from the neighbour. And, you know, we've seen that video of the neighbour chucking coins off the banister, and she's in the house on her own, but somebody else is captured on camera, and she claims it's a parody. She doesn't use a real name, so maybe that was the case, but Okay, so they do an SDS method. I've skipped that. Again, same reason.
Yeah, maybe we move more out.
Now see, listen. I mean, for some reason the video pauses. I'm guessing that's just something natural, maybe. But if we take this back...
He said he tried to reenact. Move from somewhere.
Yeah, maybe we move more out.
So now we hear him moving, shifting his weight and crunching about a fair bit in this section.
Yeah, maybe we move more out. I would get that on camera.
I so hope your phone is... Oh, shit.
And it's at this point where it's happened twice in one night, where you have to take into consideration, at least consideration, that door just randomly opens because the latch and the door are not in good condition. I mean, the door's all split and busted. Look, this house isn't very well maintained. It's better than any abandoned you'll ever go in, but all the wallpaper's started to peel off. There's damp in quite a few places in there. The house has seen better days, and you can tell that the house is not having any sort of structural maintenance done to it by the noise of the staircase, by these doors that pop open. Now, if you want, you can go and look at my last video, 30 East Drive, where me and Lee go and actually test this door, and you can just get it. We were getting it to pop open on command with a floorboard outside. And even in between, it's just popping open. And you've got to take into account that the house will contract and expand with heat and cool, and people moving about in there disturbing the floorboards. Floorboards will spring back up in the hallway, which will cause this door. Unfortunately, it's very natural.
So it couldn't be a pressure point thing, because the last time you were on the other side of the door and it made it open. And now this time you were on this side of the door and the same thing happened.
It could still be pressure points, just different pressure points. You've got to understand that you step on a floorboard, and they would, everything around it moves. So no matter which side of the door you're on, a floorboard could trigger it. But that door does just open of its own accord.
That can't be to do with like a pressure point on the floor, because firstly we've tested it and there isn't a pressure point on the floor.
Oh, there 100% is. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are 3 of my 5 videos at 30 East Drive where we trigger that door opening by just stepping on the floorboard outside. I know the exact spot in which to do it to get it to happen on command. And, you know, I slept in this room and that door popped open a number of times, to the point where I just left it open because it's not paranormal. So obviously I've just quickly scrubbed through the video, looked at the key moments, Capel, REM-pod, and SS methods that I don't believe in. And then that door popping open, I know that that's a natural occurrence. There's nothing there for me to say that these guys are faking anything. The potential for them to know that that door is naturally opening is there, and they're just playing it off. But, you know, I can't say that from just one video. I don't have an opinion on whether they're real or fake because I've only watched that one video and I've scrubbed through it. So I don't know if it's worth looking at more videos that they've done. They do a video, the UK's most haunted, or one of the UK's most haunted Airbnbs or B&B. Have you heard of it? But they've done a video with Moxley, and it's titled, "We Survived the UK's Amityville, Ghost Caught on Camera," featuring Moxley. I mean, Moxley for a start. Moxley's fake. He's been caught numerous times. I've caught him numerous times. But this says ghost caught on camera. So have they actually captured a ghost on camera? Or is this just massive clickbait? In the video description, they go to one place, police turn up, so they go to the Amityville house. From strange noises and cold spots to unexplained whispers, this video captures some of the most convincing paranormal evidence we've recorded so far. Where's the ghost then? Tongue click noise, like that was the sound of plastic. To me, a sound I've heard in numerous of my own videos, it's a tripod or a grip. That's not a tongue click noise. That's plastic.
Shit.
Did you just go?
I didn't.
Did anyone just behind me just go?
Did you just go?
No.
They're literally just behind me. I just heard someone go.
No.
Okay.
There he was again. There he was again. Whilst somebody's closing a tripod, it sounds like.
Cool.
No, wasn't. We didn't do it.
No.
I was talking.
Literally just behind me. As I walked in, I heard someone go.
Right.
We probably caught it on camera.
Yeah. I didn't hear that.
But shh.
But listen to what they are stepping on.
Right behind my ear. Shh.
Is that a horsefly? Back it off. You don't want horsefly back.
No.
Jesus, this is a lot worse than last time.
That house has gotten so bad.
On there. And let's see.
There's that click again. Not a tongue click. It's something they are holding. It's plastic. Do you see the problem here? They're stepping about all that broken stuff. All of the windows are broken. There's stuff hanging from the ceiling. There's paper hanging down. Any taps, clicks, voices. You've pretty much got to just dismiss it all because of... I mean, it's on a road that you hear traffic on. They found a poo. Ew.
Remember where you put in the camera? No. What the fuck was that?
There was a car going past.
Anna. Small name.
But did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah. That was like in here as well.
It was like.
I could feel it. I felt it.
Yeah.
Through the floor.
Because it was a car going past.
Yeah.
Did you hear it? I felt it through the floor. Ah! Your own imagination is either making this even more than it was, or you're just flat out adding to it now. I'm leaning further and further down towards these pair being fake at this point. Sorry.
That was a noise.
No, it wasn't. That's not even... You've changed it again for the third time.
Can you do that again?
I actually heard a voice then. But it may be Moxley, it may be Ming, it may be somebody walking past outside. But the actual voice, they haven't called out as anything. They've ignored that. The car going past went, Calm it down.
Curtains then. Can you come close to this grey device if you're with us? Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's the same sound from one of your mounts that we heard earlier. It could even be the torch on your mounts, because when the batteries start to run out on them, you've got... Where's mine? I think mine's actually in the other room. You've got 4 little LED lights on the back of it to tell you how much battery you've got. And when they count down to see your battery's running out, they click.
What was that?
That was Moxley
Can
coughing.
you do that again?
Curtains burned.
What?
While your app's going off.
I'm shook.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, was that maybe Moxley? Was that maybe the
No,
guys?
they're downstairs. This is upstairs. That was behind me.
It sounded in a different room. I don't know, I can't judge.
Did you just come through us? Come through us.
Ew.
Ew.
I've tried to watch that video and it's just all sorts of noise contamination being passed off as potentially the paranormal. And did you hear that? Oh, that could have been this, that could have been that. It's open windows. It's 4 people moving around an abandoned shithole with just stuff all over the floors, wallpaper peeling off, broken windows, trees growing in through windows, your own equipment ticking and clicking, and tripods and stuff, or grips being held and clicking, and it being passed off as paranormal. And the thumbnails are twin paranormal thumbnails. It's all like face and big wide eyes, open mouths, or hands over the mouth, and insane. We caught something terrifying at this haunted vicarage. Insane paranormal evidence. The most evil church we've ever investigated. Not for the faint of heart. Real ghost evidence caught on camera. It's big red arrows, the shocked face, the hand over mouth faces. It's interchangeable with other fake channels. These guys have been going for 2 years and they're just under 10k subscribers. 9.25. 494 videos. I watched the East Drive one, or some of the East Drive one. I watched most of the Amityville Horror one. I've watched a little bit of Is Our House Haunted? I've watched a bit of Haunted Cemetery, and it's just the same thing. Misidentifying sounds and not realising what they are. But after 2 years, after 494 investigations, these guys don't know what sounds are their own equipment or what sounds are just abandoned buildings. And that door at 30 East Drive, they've clearly been watching other videos on it and haven't seen that tons of people have debunked that door opening on its own as it's the floorboards. And at this point, just the door opens. That video's 7 months old. Me and Lee both pro videos with that door just opening on its own for no reason other than the door doesn't sit in the catch anymore properly. Maybe they've missed ours, but you know, that door's been debunked a lot. And if they're looking at content, I don't believe that they've missed that, and I think they're just overplaying it to make the videos more spooky. And maybe I wouldn't have that opinion if they didn't drop a green filter over the video to make it look like they're in night vision when they're not. That is straight out of the Faker's Handbook. If you don't have night vision capabilities and you're in a paid location, just leave the lights on. I know that being in the dark can add to the spooky for you while you're investigating and get you in the mood. I still do it. To be in the light and put a green filter on like you're in night vision, that's manipulating your audience. That's making them think something is real in your video that's not. When you pair it with everything else I've just watched and the fact that you worked with Moxley. Yeah, so 2 ghost girls. I've watched a fair bit of your footage today in segments, and yeah, I think it's fake. I think you're passing off normal sounds as the paranormal. I think you know that these things that are happening are normal, but you're passing them off as paranormal to make your videos more exciting, and it's sad to see. You're a young channel. Maybe you can get on the right path, or maybe you can go and keep working with people like Moxley and making these over-dramatic thumbnails and lying to your audience and putting on green filters to pretend you're in night vision when you're not. So do please let me know your thoughts on the comment section down below. I really cover female teams because there's always somebody who will shout, "Oh, you're sexist," for no damn reason. But if you're going to put your content out on the internet for all to see, then people are going to critique it. And if you don't like what's being said, maybe change the way you investigate, or maybe tell the truth. Much love to you all. Beardo out.
All I have to do is ask, Beardo's got your back, and just like that, you get around.